You're thinking about making a move to the Seattle area or the East Side, and you want to explore some of the neighborhoods that might not quite be on everyone's radar. They're secret neighborhoods. Well, then you're in the right place. Listen up, because we got a great video planned for you. Whether you're looking for breathtaking views, family-friendly communities, or hidden gems with unique amenities, I've got you covered. In this video, we're going to dive into some of the standout neighborhoods that aren't on everyone's radar, including Blue Ridge, including Rose Hill in Kirkland, Washington, the Admiral District. And you're gonna have to wait and see, because I'm gonna hide a very secret neighborhood throughout the video. You're not gonna know where it is, so stay tuned for my favorite neighborhood coming right up in a few more. And if you're new to my channel and you wanna learn everything there is to know about Seattle and the surrounding communities here, well then make sure you tap that bell, click subscribe so that you can live like a local and stay notified of any future content. You'll be the first to learn about the market here and the lifestyle in the Seattle area. My name is Matthew Chapman, and I'm a local realtor here, and my team and I help people from all over the country buy and invest in real estate here in this region. Whether you're looking to make a move now or you're just planning ahead for your future, know that you can give us a call anytime, shoot us a text, drop us an email, and we would love to be in touch with you and help you discern your next right thing in the greater Seattle region. So let's dive in to our very first neighborhood, the hidden gem, Blue Ridge. Now, Blue Ridge is located in Northwest Seattle. This neighborhood is known for its stunning Puget Sound views and its strong sense of community. Residents here end up loving Blue Ridge when they move into this community. And one of the reasons is because they have private access to this community clubhouse, a swimming pool, and tennis courts. This is a beautiful community where people often never leave once they arrive in Blue Ridge. It's also a great spot for outdoor enthusiasts, which I know you are. It's got nearby parks and trails, and the homes in Blue Ridge are typically mid-century modern or contemporary styles, and the price ranges anywhere from 1.5 million to over 3 million, depending on the size and the view. While the neighborhood does feel very secluded and peaceful, very family friendly, it is a bit out there, and that is one of the downsides. And it's harder to walk to places like stores and restaurants. There's a few little shops and restaurants around, but there's not a ton, so you're gonna be dependent upon your car or public transportation if you live in the Blue Ridge community. Other than the private clubhouse and the community pool and the tennis courts, one of the things that residents love here is that you can walk to the Puget Sound from your house to a private beach that Blue Ridge has. You can build bonfires and have picnics, and you can be down there in about 15 minutes. It's a lovely place that I've got to hang out in with my clients who I helped purchase a home in Blue Ridge recently. They love it, so check out the hidden gem of Blue Ridge community. Next up is the hidden gem of Columbia City. Columbia City is a neighborhood located in southeast Seattle, which is about 3 miles from downtown Seattle, or just 3 miles off I-90 interchange. And this is a very vibrant and diverse community. It's got lots of great shops and restaurants. And the walkability in Columbia City is really off the charts. You can walk to some of your favorite restaurants that are also some hidden gems that the Seattle Times has written about recently. And you could also walk to some of my favorite pizza restaurants in the city, which is Tutabella Pizza. There's Mio Posto, which is just up a little bit in Mount Baker, but that's also a walkable place. The light rail station is right there. And Olympia Coffee Roasters, which is one of my favorite coffee shops, happens to be in Columbia City as well. The light rail station provides easy access to downtown Seattle and the airport. And homes here range from $800,000 for a smaller single-family home to around 1.8 million for a larger or a recently renovated home. Rainier Avenue is the main street that you take into Columbia City, and that can be a bit of a drag. It's prone to lots of accidents and traffic, but the good news is you only have to be on that road for 3 miles, and there are back road options where you can avoid this that all the locals know and that you can discover on your own as well. And that really makes the commute to Bellevue just easy peasy. It's just 3 miles, and it's the opposite commute if you're commuting to Bellevue. You're gonna get there in about 20 to 25 minutes from Columbia City. Moving over to West Seattle, the Admiral District is a hidden gem neighborhood as well. No, this is not my favorite secret hidden gem neighborhood. You gotta stay tuned in the video. I'm gonna drop that here in a little bit. But the Admiral District is a neighborhood that you wanna pay attention to, and it's known for its convenience, the downtown, especially when the bridge is open, which we're going to talk about here in a minute. And it's just known for its small world charm. And it's got beautiful views in the Admiral District as well. The reason for the views is that many of the homes in the Admiral District are actually perched on this hill, and they have incredible views of the Seattle skyline, Elliott Bay, and even Mount Rainier on a clear day. The housing stock here in the Admiral District includes the old craftsman homes, as well as modern homes are starting to be built up here. The architecture is really on point in the Admiral District. There's no cookie cutter homes here in this region. And the price range for a home will run you about $900,000 all the way up to $2 million, depending on the size and the view on the property. The Admiral District neighborhood also has a quaint commercial area with restaurants and a historic movie theater and local shops. It's also close to Alki Beach, which honestly has one of the best views in the entire city. The beaches on Alki are about as close to California as you're gonna get. Now, nothing compared to California, but I think that you would be impressed. It's even got a small Statue of Liberty right there on the beach in Alki Beach. There's some phenomenal restaurants there. The views, like I said, are fantastic. Some of the best in the city from Alki Beach, which is a short drive away from the Admiral District. Now, the downside of living in the Admiral District is that if you want a good commute, you're really dependent upon the bridge. And the bridge did close down a few years ago for repairs, and people had to drive around the long way. And that was very painful for many of the residents. And that increased the commute time by about 20 to 30 minutes for those residents. But right now, and for the foreseeable future, fingers crossed, that bridge is open and doesn't have any plans for closing anytime soon. So I think it's an option that you should really consider if you love the quintessential Seattle architecture, the views, even a little bit of beach, and some quirky, fun, cool. The Admiral District might just be for you. Now let's head across the bridge all the way to the east side, known as the Suburbs. They have some beautiful neighborhoods that you do not want to miss, and one of those is located in Kirkland, Washington, and it is kind of a little bit under the radar. It is called Rose Hill. Homes here are a mix of split levels, ramblers, mid-century moderns, and there's a lot of pocket new construction happening in Rose Hill that are beautiful modern townhomes, and as well as single-family homes. Those single-family homes are going to run over 3,000 square feet all the way up to mid-4s, and the price range in Rose Hill is going to run you about $1.2 million for a very small home, all the way up to about $3.5 to $4 million, depending on the home size. One of the reasons why I put Rose Hill on my hidden gem neighborhood list is because of its close proximity to downtown Kirkland, which is literally one of the best places on the planet, in my opinion. It's got Lake Washington right there, views for days of the Cascades. You could even catch Mount Rainier. The boating culture in downtown Kirkland is phenomenal. They got the boutique shopping as well. So Rose Hill is just a short drive away for downtown Kirkland. And honestly, it's the more affordable option if you're looking to have that lifestyle without the cost. This neighborhood is also known for its excellent schools and its proximity to Bridle Trail State Park, which has an equestrian vibe right there. You'll see lots of horses and bridle trails. There's also great walking trails and hiking through that park as well. So when I think about the drawbacks to living in Rose Hill, it's not quite as charming as living in downtown Kirkland, but again, you're not paying those crazy prices that you have to pay to live in that lifestyle. It's a good alternative, but You're gonna pay for it a little bit on the traffic because 85th Street, which runs through Rose Hill, often gets a bit congested, and sometimes to get on the freeway there, you're gonna wait your turn in line. But overall, the convenience of this neighborhood and its proximity to Bellevue and downtown Kirkland, I think more than makes up for the tough commute time that you might find on 85th Street, or the wait that you might have to wait a few extra minutes to get on the freeway. Next up in my hidden gem list of secret neighborhoods also happens to be on the east side, and this one is in the city of Bellevue. Now, not all neighborhoods in Bellevue are created equal, and this neighborhood is called Wilburton. And you probably heard of West Bellevue, maybe Clyde Hill, maybe Ennetai. Those are great neighborhoods too, but not many people have heard of Wilburton. Wilburton is known for its mix of suburban charm and urban convenience. Literally, you can be in downtown Bellevue in about a 5-minute drive from Wilburton. The schools are fantastic. I know many families that say good things about the International School, which is in walking distance from Wilburton. Wilburton is also extremely close to the brand new community tech hub, the Spring District in Bellevue. So this is a great option if you're in tech, you want good schools, you want a good family-friendly neighborhood, and maybe you don't want to pay the upper end prices that you're going to pay in Clyde Hill and Ennetai. Your price point here in Wilburton, depending on the home size, is going to run you between $1.8 million for a starter home, all the way up to $4 million for a larger size new construction home. The neighborhood of Wilburton is also home to Wilburton Hill Park, and that has a fantastic space with trails and sports fields. I often enjoy a picnic lunch there during my working hours. When the sun does come out in Seattle, that's where you might find me during lunch. Honestly, I can't think of too many downsides of living in the Wilburton community. You are gonna pay a premium to live in this community, but it's not gonna be as much as Clyde Hill, Medina, and West Bellevue. So it's a neighborhood that you should definitely put on your list. Next up is my personal favorite secret neighborhood that I'm about to disclose. And I just hope that too many people don't discover it because it is that cool. And this is called Mount Baker Ridge. Now, if you like a little bit of a mix of urban living and that suburban feel with some amazing views, this is the neighborhood for you. I will say that not all of Mount Baker Ridge is created equal. You particularly want to pay attention to Cascadia Street in Mount Baker Ridge. This offers a mix of historic homes and modern builds with price ranges from $3 to $5 million. It's got sweeping views of Lake Washington and the Cascade Mountains. It's got those old school quintessential charm houses, as well as a modern mix of newer builds in this community. I love coming to this area because it is one of those hidden gems in Seattle. And you walk the street of Cascadia and it oozes charm. And the homes here are just a blend. There's no cookie cutter homes in this neighborhood. There tend to be much larger homes, and it's the homes that you see in magazines. And they also have a blend of these older style homes that are to die for, as well as these modern new construction homes right here on Mount Baker Ridge. So it is definitely worth driving to, checking out, just see, do you like the vibe here? It's close to parks and schools, and it's got this boutique Mount Baker commercial district that is really to die for as well. It's got a great Mio Posto pizza restaurant right there. The only drawback that the Mount Baker Ridge community has is that there can be some hills. And when you're working out or you're on a walk, you're gonna get a little bit more of a sweat. But the stunning views really do make it worthwhile. Next up, we're going back to the east side, and this one is called Hollywood Hill. It's located in Woodinville, Washington, and this is an equestrian community that often has larger lots, and it is just a stone's throw away from wine country right here in Hollywood Hill. One of the things that's really charming about the Hollywood Hill community is not only does it have literally hundreds of wineries right here, but the equestrian vibe just makes it old school and old world, and it is just a beautiful landscape that you really need to check out. Homes here range from 1.5 million all the way up to 3 million, but new construction homes can cost as much as $6 million, with many offering lots of acreage and beautiful landscaping. Now, I will say, when I tell my out-of-towners about Hollywood Hill, they're a little sheepish about trying this neighborhood out and even going to check it out, because to them, it feels like it's on the outskirts a little bit. And I gotta be honest, it is on the outskirts, but it's not as bad as you think. The commute time from Hollywood Hill to Bellevue is gonna run you about 20 to 30 minutes, depending on traffic. So it's something that you should really consider, because there are back roads. And I think once you're there, you're in this oasis, and it is a beautiful place that you definitely want to go check out, especially with its close proximities to the wine country and the great grocery stores. And now there's some really new restaurants just down the hill from Hollywood Hill that make this place great. Sticking to the east side and now moving on to Redmond, Washington, we're going to talk about a hidden gem in Redmond called English Hill. Don't you just like that name? English Hill. Don't you want to move there already when I just tell you that name? It is a great name, and it is a great family-friendly neighborhood as well. This neighborhood is known for its quiet streets and its highly rated schools, making it popular for just about everyone. Homes here typically are larger, with 4 or 5 bedrooms, and they range in price from about 1.4 million to about 2.2 million, and around 3.5 million for a new construction home that will run you about 3,500 square feet. English Hill has a strong sense of community. You'll often see kids out playing and wandering the streets. It feels like a very safe community here in English Hill. And it's also full of activities year-round that the community participates in. And it's a great place. I would say the one downside, kind of like Hollywood Hill, is it's a little bit out there, and the commute time is going to run you a little bit longer, but I don't think that it's a deal breaker in terms of commute time. And yes, unless you're just saying you want that 5 to 10 minute commute time, then this would not be a neighborhood for you. And finally, we are going to move on to the city of Newcastle, which is also on the east side. We haven't talked about Newcastle yet. And there's a neighborhood in Newcastle that is a bit of a hidden gem. It is called China Creek. China Creek includes views of the Cascades and access to fantastic golf courses. So if you're into golfing in a culture like that, this could be the place for you. Homes here range from about 1.8 million all the way up to $3 million. They're often perched on hillsides, maximizing the beautiful views and the surrounding nature that this region has to offer. Homes here tend to be over 3,000 square feet, so they're a little bit on the larger size. So China Creek's location, it sits within Newcastle, and Newcastle is between Bellevue and Renton. And so the downside of living here is there's not as many restaurants and shopping. You're gonna have to drive a little bit to get there. But I think if you want that peaceful neighborhood and you're okay with getting in your car, going to the grocery store, and you love golf, this could be a community for you. So I hope this gives you a better idea of some of the neighborhoods located in Seattle and the east side. These are the hidden neighborhoods, so don't go telling all your friends. We need to keep them a little bit secret here, but they are really neighborhoods that are off the radar that I want my clients to consider. And I love showing them these neighborhoods. So don't hesitate to reach out. If you're interested in any of these neighborhoods, I can talk to you more about them to make sure that they're a good fit for you. I want to talk through your values and hear a little bit more about what you're looking for. So drop me a text, shoot me a message, make sure to subscribe to my video and get notified of any future content. Again, this is Matthew Chapman, and I will see you next time.